I guess guys, the voice is clear and also there is no background noise. So if you are facing some any background noise or anything like that, you can just ask me, right? So our screen is also visible, I guess. So in the last class, for a quick recap, what we have done is we have done the very basic SQL queries. If you know about the SQL queries, it is just as simple as that. I have to import the MySQL and you want me to share this file as well. I'm sharing this file as well with you all. I have copied this entire file and I'm pasting the entire file in the chat section. So I have shared this entire file in the chat section. You can refer to this file as well. Now what we have done here, at first I have to import the MySQL module and I have to import it so that we can use the database, we can connect to the database. I will create the connection object from this MySQL file. From there, I will create just this connection object. And after this connection object is created, I will just connect. And after connecting, I can actually execute as many queries as I want. I can actually execute as many queries as I want. This is the main part. This is where I have done the entire part for the connection. So this file is only for the illustration purpose. I will be using a complete different file here. So the complete different file that I'm going to use is basically I will be creating this file and where I am. So let me give you a quick recap of the entire project. So I have this folder, this my app folder where I have everything. So right here, I have to write something to actually initialize this project. And what do I have to write? I have to write npm start. When I will write npm start and I will be initializing the project, then automatically and whenever the modules I'm going to install, all the modules will be installed inside this node modules file. Like you have to write npm install express, and then you can create the express application. Then you can set the view engine. So you have to install EJS. In this way, this is what we have done, right? So now apart from that, what else do we can do here? I have this folder. Now in the EJS file, in the index.ejs file, I have something. So it would be better if I just execute this file once. It would be better if I just execute this file once. Just a minute. It would be better if I just execute. Just a minute, guys. Let me zoom in the page. Okay, so here I go. Here I have this entire file. So now in this entire file, I will execute this file. Where I am in the server.js file. So to run our project, we just need to write npm start. And I will hit enter. And our project is running. Okay, there is some problem. What is the problem? We are not in the current directory. So that's why this npm we have to initialize the project as well. So we have to go right here. I will kill this terminal, and after killing this terminal, I will go to this particular part. So I will open an integrated terminal. So I have opened this project. Now in this project, I'm going to write npm start. Let's hit enter. When I will hit enter, so I am right here in this particular directory, and I will click on this localhost 3000. I will go here. So I will control and click there, and you can see when I will open the Google Chrome, this is the page that we had created, and I will request you all to create some good interfaces, not just like this one. Create some good interfaces. Okay, and here if I go to this registration. So in this registration, I have multiple things. I have name, roll number, mobile number, email, password, confirm password. I have multiple fields there. Okay, if I go back, I have this entire page. So in this page itself, or in the registration page, I want to collect some data. So I have done all the routes like after this localhost 3000 when I'm specifying whenever it is automatically it is like register page is redirecting and I have specified the routes. I have created this separate registration.ejs file. EJS file is exactly same to our EJS file is exactly same to our HTML file. So whatever I'm discussing here, let me give you a quick recap of whatever I'm discussing here. Okay. For that reason, I would like to go to the pen. Just a minute. Let me present that window only so that you can able to understand. Just give me 1 minute. Yes, so I guess it is also visible to you all. And here I go. I have this Node.js file. Let me just give 1 more minute. I will quickly delete this part. I will fill this one and I will have this pen. Okay, and the brush, I need to set the brush size as well. So now what I need to do here is very simple. I will do a quick recap of whatever we have covered. So the first thing that we have covered is like in Node.js, we are creating Node.js web application. Web application. Now, any web application is completely we can say we cannot even develop any web application without a special thing that is called HTML. HTML is the base or HTML is the skeleton of any web application. So we can create HTML templates very easily. We can create just any file name. Just let's say it is index.html, and we know how to create HTML. That's why we have given so much importance on this HTML part. So I have covered this HTML in details. Now, after that, I have the next part as animation, or not only animation, we can rather say styling. For styling, we know what we have to do. We have to use CSS. So we can easily create CSS files very easily with the extension .css, style.css, and this file is created. And after this file is created, we can actually design. Also, without creating the file, I can also have the style tag. So style tag will look inside only HTML. I can have this style, this tag, and there I can write whatever I want to write. This is also another way. There is another way that I can write in line. So just inside a tag, this is the HTML tag. In this HTML tag only, here I can write the CSS properties. This is called inline styling. Now, after HTML and CSS, the next fundamental part for interactive web pages, where we can interact with the web page, the components that we have created using HTML, we have styled using CSS, we can interact with them using JavaScript. So using JavaScript, what we can do, we can add functionalities and we can make interactive web pages. What do we mean by interactive web pages? We mean interactive web pages. We try to say that here we are actually, whenever I will click any button, whenever I will hover somewhere, hover means I'm moving the cursor, I'm moving the mouse. This is called hovering. Whenever I will hover somewhere, or I will, let's say, I will press any button. Whenever I will press any button. So this kind of things, whenever I'm going to do this kind of things, this can be done. The functionalities can be added very easily using JavaScript. So this is all about our JavaScript. We can add event listener, we can handle event listener, we can change the style tags, we can do a lot of things using JavaScript. Now, these are some features that we can do using JavaScript. In JavaScript, we have studied how to create variables, how to create different kinds of variable using var keyword, using let keyword, using const keyword, how to handle loops. How can we handle loops using for keyword, uh, using if else? We know that we can specify conditionals. So there are multiple things that we can do here. So these are the main features that we can do in JavaScript. This is what I'm talking about. Now, after these features, what do we have? We have to create web application. Now, web application means that we need a server. The server will run in the browser. The server, it will run in browser. It will run in browser. This is what we do mean by server. Generally, we are using locals, our local server or host. Local host. We can explicitly specify the port number, and we can use any port number like 3000, or we can use 8000, or we can use 8080. Any port number we can use. These are the part of networking. But simply, you don't need to understand the entire concept of networking. Just you need to understand that these are the port numbers. Some port number you can specify. So our browser is in our browser, our server will run on localhost. Generally, I would prefer 3000. So in this, whenever I will enter this localhost, so our server will start running. Okay, there, why this is server, this is live server, why this is so? Because whenever I will change something, automatically the change will be reflected in our web application, and we can create that using NodeMon. We have still not installed this NodeMon module because like still we don't need it. When we will need actually create bigger web application, we need this NodeMon. So using this NodeMon, we can very easily create such thing where actually whenever I will refresh our web page, whenever I will change and whenever I will do any changes, it will be reflected in our web application. Automatically, the server will reload. Now, since we are trying to create a web application, we need to follow a proper principle, a proper technique. And what technique we can create? We know how to normally use respond dot something. So in the URL part in our browser, whenever I will write something, we are requesting something. We are requesting something. We are requesting something from the server. In that like for that request, the server will return something to the user, and that is the response. Whoever called this one. So user is there. So we are going to return something, and that is called the response. So we are going to return the response. So what response we are creating this server. So what response we need to provide, that also we should have to provide, and which request we are making here. So we are making the request that I am entering this localhost 3000, and there is only one forward slash and nothing else is there. So whenever I will enter this address in the URL bar, just like we enter youtube.com. We enter youtube.com, we enter google.co.in, we enter m.facebook.com. So this kind of things we enter, and whenever I will enter this thing in the browser, a proper web page should appear in the browser because the server is always running. So when our server also, we are creating this server. So when our server will also run on the port number, on specific port number. So whenever the user will enter that address in any computer that is connected, not only in your computer, but any computer which is connected with the local Wi-Fi, the same connected Wi-Fi from in each and every computer, in each and every Wi-Fi device, from your mobile, from other computers, you can actually access this particular address, and the response will be sent to all the devices. Now, all base by mean, what do I mean by all the devices? So let's say you have a mobile phone, you have another computer, all the things for everywhere that will be given. Now, when I'm specifying a specific web address, when I will only specify localhost 3000, and after that I will just specify slash and I will not specify anything. Then what should happen? When I will specify up slash, then after that I'm specifying about. Then what will happen? If I specify contact, then what should happen? So when I'm actually specifying all the things, then what exactly should happen? This is generally called routing. This step is called routing. Route or routes. So whenever I go somewhere, we say like, what is the route from Kolkata to Delhi? What is the route for Kolkata to Assam or Assam to Bangalore? This kind of route we generally ask. So this is just the route. So in which route I should go? These are called routing. Okay. So whenever the user will enter only the slash before slash, it will be localhost 3000. It will be localhost 3000. It will be localhost 3000. Whenever the user will enter something like this, then what should happen? What will be the routing? So then whenever the user will just enter the default page, our default web page should appear, that is index.html. Whenever the user will enter about page, our about page should appear, that is about.html. Because HTML is the extension for any web pages. Till now, we know about this part that HTML is the extension for any web pages. Whenever the user will enter contact us page, contact.html, this should appear. This particular web page should be visible to the user. But now, since we are trying to create interactive web pages, like what do I exactly mean by these interactive web pages? So if you know about the Facebook page, you all have, or definitely you all know about the Facebook web page. So let me just give you a quick demo here. So what happens in the Facebook page? So the Facebook page looks something like this. You have this window, right? In this window, you have here your search. You have the search field. You have a search field in the desktop. I'm talking about in the you have this search field here, right? After the search field, you have multiple options, and here in the side, you have your own address. So this particular thing is your own account. So here your image will be there. Your image will be there. Your name will be there. Your name will be there. Whatever is the name you have logged in. Now there are some other icons as well. You have some other icons. Now you have some feed. This is a feed. Now you have another feed. Also, there can be some messaging option, different other things will be there. So generally, this is the basic Facebook page. Here, the Facebook logo will be there. Some other things will be there. But the design is same for everyone. The design is same for everyone. For literally for everyone, the design is same. But what is varying? The thing that is varying is the name. These are the thing, the image, the name, these things are varying. Or the post, it will vary. The name, it will vary. But the design is same. In the same design, all the things will be there. And we can vary this thing. That's why we have the concept of variables. So we need the same design, but we need different names. We need different images. We need different feed. That's why I will pass different variables. This is what I'm going to pass here. So that's why I have variable. So that I can integrate. So I want to include variables plus I want to include variables plus the HTML page, HTML design together. So I want to include these two things together. So when I want to do that, then what do I have? So for that purpose, I have multiple template engines. I have multiple template engines, and one of the most popular template engine is EJS, which is called Embedded JavaScript. JS stands for JavaScript. This is called our template engine, or generally this is called view engine. View means just the English meaning that how the view will be. So from standing from our balcony, we say that, oh, very nice view. What a cool view it is. Standing in a beach, we can say that, okay, the sea is looking, the sea view hotel. This is a very like great view. The view is nice. This is what I'm talking about, view. So we have this view. So the view is the interface, how the view will look like, how the interface will look like. So view engine, where we can include HTML template along with some JavaScript variables. We can pass different names in the same template. Who will be logged in? That his name will be visible here. I can actually take the information from the database. I can take the information from the database. I can directly display. I can directly display data from the database. Now, for this purpose, these are advanced methods. We have sessions, we have cookies. These are some advanced methods. This is what we are not going to learn. We are going to learn how to just connect to this server that is present here, a server along with the database. This is the database that is present here. I have my data, and how I can actually insert the data into the web page, and how I can actually insert the data, collect the information from here, and I can insert it into the database. Okay, this is what we are going to learn. For that purpose, I have this EJS templating. This is what we have right here. And rather than using, that's why here, rather than using this HTML pages, I will be using index.ejs file. HTML pages rather than using, I will be using EJS file. Also here as well, I will be using EJS file. This is what I am trying to say, what we are going to do. So I will specify some routes. I will specify where to listen. Where to listen means what should be our code. I will specify the routes that whenever I will go to this backslash or the simple forward slash, I will be redirected to this page. When I will go to this about page, I will be redirected to this page. When I will go to this contact page, I will be redirected to this page. These are all the informations that we are going to specify. Now, since I have specified all the informations, now there I'm successfully able to host the web pages. Now, this is what we have covered so far. So guys, is it clear to you all, or do you have any confusion? You can let me know, guys, if it is clear to you all. This is all what we have covered. Now, also, we have covered something that I'm going to discuss later. The connection to database, all the part I'm going to discuss later. But till this part, whatever I discussed, is it clear to you all guys? Please let me know. All right. So after this part, we have seen that how to connect our VS Code with the MySQL workbench. Now, what do we mean by that? Actually, whatever we will be doing in our real life is like we will be completely doing everything in the web browser itself. There is no way that we like whenever a user will enter some data, we will collect the data into variables. After that, we are going to store like we are going to fire some SQL queries. So there is nothing like that. Everything should be automated. How we can do that? For that purpose, we have to connect our SQL. So generally, we are going to use a database management system. We need a DBMS, a proper database management system. What database we are going to use? We are going to use SQL. SQL is basically structured query language, which is a relational database, RDBMS, which is a RDBMS. This is what we have right here. Now, in this RDBMS, we have the data generally in row and column format. We have our data in row and column format. We have multiple rows. We have multiple columns. This is what we mean by RDBMS. We can create a database, any database we can create. We can give it, assign it to a name, and then we can create some columns and we can insert the data in row wise, in this row, in this row, this row. For creating the database, we have a comment. For inserting something into the database, we have a comment, and we need to create the table as well. To create the table, we have some comments. We can actually give the names. We can specify something as integer. We can specify something as different data types. For everything, we have some comments. Now, since I have this one, since I have this connection part, everything, all the parts is there. I can do everything in MySQL workbench. Generally, I'm using MySQL workbench. This is what I'm using. Since I can do everything in MySQL workbench, our task is to connect this MySQL workbench with VS Code using a programming language that is JavaScript. And for that purpose, we will use generally Node JavaScript or Node, simply we can say Node.js, and we have a module. The name of the module is MySQL, and the updated version that is working right now is MySQL 2. So this is the module. This module is what we are going to use. This is the module. This is the module that we are going to use. We will use it. At first, we need to install this module. Now, this is another part. To install any module in Node.js, it is very simple. At first, we have to install Node. At first, we have to install Node. So Node should be properly installed in your Windows system. After that, what you need to do, after that, you need to install all the modules. And to install any module, you just need to write, you just need to write npm install. Then you need to write the name of the module. So whatever is the name of the module. Suppose you are trying to install Express. Here you will write Express. You want to install EJS, you will write EJS. You want to install MySQL 2, you will write MySQL 2. So in this way, you can write all the module names, and also simultaneously also you can write just like this one, like you write npm install Express, then write EJS, then write MySQL2. Also, there is a famous module, body parser. Also, you can write nodemon. This is a module. So there are some specific things. This Express, using this Express, I can actually create our web app. Main purpose. Create our web app. This EJS is our view engine. MySQL2, basically, we are going to use MySQL2 to connect with SQL database. We will use body parser to as a middleware. Middleware means the connection between front end and back end. We are going to connect front end with back end. Whatever info from HTML form. So from HTML form, you know how to create the HTML form. There are name tag, email tag, roll number, all the things are there. So from this part, we can collect information, collect and store it in JavaScript variables. So we are going to discuss it after some time, and there is nodemon. So nodemon is also a very interesting module. What you can do here, so you don't need to rerun the server again and again when you are changing something. So it is like automatically reloads the browser, or we can say reloads the server whenever changes detected. Whenever some changes are detected, automatically it reloads the server. So these are the things that we can do. These are the modules you can install, like in this way: npm install Express, npm install EJS, npm install MySQL2, npm install body parser, nodemon. In this way you can install, or you can directly install as well. Both the things are absolutely fine. In any way you can install, right? So now you have this MySQL2. So in this MySQL2, what you are going to do? you are simply going to connect your file with the database. Creating a connection is also very easy and very much easy, I would say. You just need to write, you need to create the connection object. So at first import module. So how you can import any module? Importing a module, you need to write require, then here you need to write module name. Not only this MySQL2, but to import any module, you need to specify this require module name. So you specify the module name. After that, since you are specifying MySQL2, so you need to create connection object. Create connection object. After that, what you need to do, after creating the connection object, you need to connect them. You need to connect. After connecting, what you need to do, some do the SQL query. So perform the SQL queries. You can create a SQL string and then you can write the dot query method to actually trigger the query. So in this way, you can do the SQL query as well. Very much simple. So, and then you can insert something, you can delete something, whatever query you are specifying within the string double quote, you can easily do all the queries. This is what we have done so far. So is that clear to you guys? Is this clear to you all? Let me know. In today's lesson, we are going to learn about this body parser. And actually, we are going to fetch the information from the browser, and we are going to insert it into our database. All right. All right. So, guys, do you want me to share this this rough copy also with you all? If you want, then I will be sharing this rough copy, whatever I have written right here with you all. So do you want me to share this part? So here we are at our server. Okay, I will share this file. So here we are in the server file. So now since we are at this server file, here we need to do something. Now we have created the database object here. In the database object, we have done a lot of queries. So I will comment all the queries this time. I will comment all the queries, whatever is there, whatever is present there. I don't need any of the queries. So I will be commenting all the queries. I am commenting all the queries. I'm commenting this queries. So I will just have, if the database is connected successfully, I will check that. If it is connected successfully and it is done. So, and then I will just do one thing. I will export this module. So I need to write module dot exports is equals to the object that I'm trying to export. So what is the object that I'm trying to export? It is the connection object that I'm trying to export. Export means We can actually, we are exporting this connection object from this file. We will import this connection object somewhere. So we will import this particular part right here in our this module. So in this module, I'm going to import our own module. So we have created our own module and I'm going to import that. How can I import? I will write const db is equals to, this is our database required, and there I need to write the path. So dot slash database. It is just right here only. That's why I will write dot slash database. So I have imported this one also. Now I am closing the server for once. So I have closed the server for once. Then I'm just going to install the body parser. So npm install body parser and hit enter. So it will install the body parser module for you. So body parser module is done. It is imported. So let's install the body parser module also. Const body parser is equals to body parser, and don't forget to write in the proper order, body dash parser. In this order you have to write. So I have written I have written the part in this order. So after writing the part in this order, what I'm going to do now, what is the next part that I'm going to do? I need to install, I have imported this body parser as well. So I will now create the connections one by one. So I have created the get connection. So whenever I will go to this index.pay, I will go to slash, I will go here, I will go to this part about page, I will go there. So in the register page, I have the table. In the register page, I have the entire table. So now actually to demonstrate the part in easier format, I will go to this register page. I will go to this register page, and there, rather than creating this form in such a bigger format, you can easily create the form in such a bigger format. What I'm going to do is I will go just to this index.js file. There I will be just creating a form. So very simple form. I will create br tag. I will just have this br tag. I will copy and I will paste it. And then again I will have this some br tags, so that just it will look good. There I will just going to create our form. The main purpose is you need to understand how we are collecting the informations. So how we are going to collect the information, at first you need to create the form. Okay, and in form you have to specify two things. Where this form will be submitted. So it will be submitted right here. That's why I'm specifying this class. The next thing is the method. The method that you need to specify, and always remember the method will be post. Basically, we have two types of method. We have get method and we have post method. This post method is secured. Whatever you will write, it will not be visible in the URL tag. That's why we have this post method. Now, what we have here, we have to write this name. I'm just writing in the same way, just name is name. All right. Then I have after the name, input type is text and it is name. So this name is very much important. This name, whatever is the name that I'm giving, it is very much important. After that, we have role. Role will be input type text and name role. So this name is not the name, or this name is actually a property. It is the HTML property. The name just like type, just like any other placeholder, it is that property. Now I'm specifying email. So email will be tag, type is text and it is email. This is what I have. All right. So these three things are there. After that, I have to write the submit button. So I will write input. I will just write input and type is submit. Okay. And value, I'm going to give the value as also submit. Okay. Now after that, I will create the display method. So there will be a button. I will just create a button. And in this button, I will have the A tag. In this A tag, I will go to the display page. In the display page, I will actually display all the information. So it is like display info. This is all about the display page. And is this display page is still there? No, the display page is not there. So I need to create the display page also. I need to create the display page also. So whenever I will click on this button, it will trigger this display page. It will trigger this backslash display there, and it will be redirected to the display page. This is what I need to specify. So I will create the display page here as well, where I will actually display .ejs, where I will I will actually see that whatever is the content. So in HTML5, I am going to write the display page. So this is gonna be our display page. Here I'm writing in H1 tag. It is display page. All right, so I have written in this format. It is display page. It is display page. I have written successfully in this format. Now, in this index.js file, I have three fields. This form is created successfully. I need to give the br tags there. So I will give br. I will give br. I will give br. I have given three br tags. And then I have this input button and I have this button. I have two buttons. So let's see how our page is looking like. I will just write npm start. So our web page is running at server 3000. Database is also connected successfully. I will go to the browser. I will go to the home page. I will refresh this home page. And here you can see I have this particular part in the home page itself. So for simplicity purpose, let's remove this image from here. So I will just go and I will remove this image. So this is the image. I will comment this part. Okay, and then I will go to the browser again. I will refresh this page and you can see this is the simple form for collecting some information, a very simple form. I have three field, the name field, this roll number field and this email field. I can submit the information. Whenever I will click submit, it will be submitted right here because I have specified only backslash. And then I need to write the display information. I will go and I will click on this display info. This is what I'm going to do. Okay, so I will just go and I will collect all the information since I have installed body parser. So this part is a little bit tricky. I want you all to focus right here and try to understand what I am doing here. So in the main part, I am posting something. Now I am actually posting something. Posting means whenever I will enter the information here, the name, the roll number, the email ID, whenever I will enter all the information, after that, I'm posting something. So I will go to the server. There I will post the information. So it is like since we have get the information, now I'm going to post the information. So I'm doing app.post. In this post, what I'm going to do, from where I'm going to post. So I'm going to post from only backslash. So from there, I'm going to post. The same thing will be there, a request, and I will have the request and response object, callback function. There I will have multiple things. So here I will at first have the variable name. It is like request dot body dot name. So in this way, you can actually collect the name. So what is the error here? All right, so we need to give here a next. It is a dummy thing that we need to specify. Or even if we don't specify, it should work. App.post. It should work. Expected a comma. Where it is expecting a comma. I have specified. Okay, so I need to give. I need to specify the body parser as well. Otherwise, I cannot use body parser. I need to specify the body parser. So I will use just like here. You can see I have set the engine. So I need to use body parser. So I will do app dot use and I will use body parser. Body parser dot JSON. So I'm going to collect all the information and also I need to write app dot body parser URL encoded. This is false initially. Now, these are two statements that you need to specify for this purpose. Like whenever you are using body person, you need to specify these two things. Okay, so there is some error. There are some error. Okay, this is not only false. This should be extended. Extended is equals to false. There we still have the error app.post request response. Okay, I have forgotten to specify the equal to sign. That's why I'm getting this error. Now after name, I have the role as well. I have role and here also I have role. I will collect the role. After collecting the role, I will collect var email. The same way request.body.email. So I'm collecting using body parser. I'm collecting whatever is there. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to create the SQL query. So how can I do the SQL query? I will just insert the information. You know about this. I discussed about it in the last class itself. I will just write insert into the table name. The table name is generally, I think the table is created there. So I need to go to MySQL workbench. I think the table is created. If it is not created, then we have to just create the table. Yes, it is created, but there are fields are different. So what I will do, I will drop this table. At first, I have to use this database. So the database name is webdev. So I will use this web development. There I need to drop this table at first. So I will drop the table drop. I will change it from this is name. Then the next part should be role. Okay, and the third part will be email. Will not do anything with this part. This is varchar, and this is not 15. This should be 35, a little bit more, and the roll number will be 15. The roll number will be or 10. The roll number will be 10. So this is what we have right here, and I will execute this query. Okay, it is done. I have executed this query, and once I have executed this query, then I'm going to see the description of registration. So this is how it is looking like. We have name, we have role, we have email. Now we will select star from registration. So initially it is empty. So we are done. We have created our registration table inside our web development database. We are successfully able to connect with our database using MySQL. You can see database connected successfully. Why it is connected successfully? Because in our database file, I have this web dev database is specified. Since it is there, that's why I'm able to connect this database as well. So I will just do insert into the table name is registration. Insert into this registration, I need to specify the values. The values are the values that I'm going to specify. Here I need to specify double quote, comma, double quote, comma, double quote. Why I have specified? Because I have three values. Inside each and every double quote, you know how to insert variables. I will specify dollar sign, opening and closing braces. I will specify dollar sign, then opening and closing braces. I will specify dollar sign, opening and closing braces. So the first variable is name. The second variable is role. The third variable is email. The third variable is email. So I have multiple variables. I have name, I have role, I have email. So these variables are there. Once I have these variables, I will I have created the SQL query. Then I will trigger this SQL query using db.query. Okay, I will create a SQL. There might be either error or I will have the result. Okay, or I will write in this way, error or result. So these are the only things that I can have. So based on this part, I will just fire a callback function. In this callback function, I will check if there is any error. If there is any error, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna throw the error. Like if there is any problem with the name, anything else. Otherwise, in the else part, otherwise, I'm going to do console.log. I'm going to say record inserted or values semicolon. So now let's check that whether it is running properly or not. So I will close this terminal and I will re-execute it. npm start. I'm re-executing it. You can see a server is running, database is connected successfully. I will go to browser. I will refresh this page. The name, I'm going to specify my own name. The roll number, I'm going to specify 111 anything. Email, I'm going to specify my own email ID. Or yes, this my own email ID. So I will submit this information. Let's see what happens. I'm submitted the information. And let's check. Let's go to the browser. Let's check here that do we have the information in our table or not. Initially, it is empty right now. Or I will go to VS Code also. So I will also go to VS Code. I will go to VS Code. There I will check that yes, the value is inserted. So it is telling us values inserted. So values will be inserted if there is no error. So we can actually go to our MySQL and we can see select star from registration. I will execute it and you can see yes, we have. We have the data, Pradipto Chatterjee, roll number 1111 and email ID. So all the information that I have inserted from our browser, I have inserted this information. These informations are there in our browser. And this time I will click display info. So it is like we will go to this display page. And since I have not done the routing, that's why I'm not able to see the display page. So I will go to my VS Code. I will now create the routing part. So routing part is very easy. I will just need to write app.get, app.get, app.get. In the same way, I will write one more app.get. I will write one more app.get, and this is for display. This is for display. And what is the name of the EJS file? It is also display. So I need to stop the terminal. You can see whenever I'm changing something, I need to change, I need to close the terminal again and again. So there is a shortcut that we can use nodemon. So I will use npm install nodemon. I will hit enter and nodemon is getting installed and nodemon is installed. So now I will write nodemon then the server .js and I will hit enter. Okay, so for nodemon, actually, I need to specify that I'm writing this using I'm doing this using nodemon. So I need to specify in our package.json file. In the start, it is node space server.js. I just need to specify nodemon, then server.js. That's it. And I will go and I will write npm start and I will hit enter. So now you can see it is nodemon server is running, and whenever I will change something here you can see I'm changing something, and the nodemon server is again like restarting due to changes. Whenever I will specify any changes, the server is running again. So this is what we can do using nodemon. So I have specified the display page. I will go to the browser. I will go here, I will click display page. You can see this is the display page. Now, how can we actually get the information for our display page? How can we collect the information from MySQL and we can write it into our display page? How can we do that? So for this display page, what we can do is we can collect in the same way. just as we have done right here, like we have done the get. So not only I'm going to get this part, along with that, I'm going to collect the information, just like this part. I'm going to collect the information. Just I will trigger this in SQL query, and I will write my SQL like from select star from the database name. So I'm just going to do that. I will do that here. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to at first create var SQL, a variable that is select star from registration. And you can see whenever I'm changing, the node1 server is again reconnecting again and again. Select star from registration. So I have selected everything from the registration. I'm going to trigger the SQL query db dot query. What query I'm going to trigger? db dot query. I'm going to trigger a query. There I need to specify at first SQL, the SQL stream. Then I need to specify the callback function. Okay, in the callback function, there will be either error or there can be multiple rows. So multiple result or rows will be there. Now I have triggered the callback function. So the thing is same. If error, so if there is any error, what I will say, I will just display the error. I will do console.log error. Some error occurred. So this is just error. Otherwise, if there is any error, so that's why I'm going to do that. And then actually I will not only render this display page, along with that, I need to do some error handling. So I will cut this part, and if there is any error, so I will paste it here. I will send the display. Now this is called a dictionary or JSON object that I need to pass. The JSON object is something like this. I need to do this curly braces, and I need to pass the data. The data is initially null. When there is no data in the rows, I don't have any data. I have some error. So then it will be null. And if I have some data, also I need to specify a curly braces. I need to give the curly braces here. Then I will specify the else, and in the else block, I'm just going to do the response dot render. I will render the display page just like I do in any cases. And also I'm going to pass this data. And what will be the data? I will pass this data as rows. So this will be our data. The data is the rows, that rows we have got. So this, whenever I will trigger this query, either I can have the error or I will have the result. And the result itself is multiple rows from our SQL table. So from this table, I have this one single row. I can have multiple rows. So all the rows it will return, all the rows in form of rows it will return. Now we will just traverse this row one by one, and we will insert this information one by one. So once that is done, like I have to go to this display page and I have to actually receive this data. I'm sending this data and I have to receive this data as well. So how can I receive the data? Receiving the data is very easy, way too easy it is. So I will go to the display page. This is the display page. There I just need to do few things, right? The first thing is I need to create a table. Using a table I can do, without using a table also I can do. But generally I like to do it using a table because the data will be in a proper format then. So I will create a table. In table, I have two parts, the table head. I have table head, that is table heading. And I also have another part, that is table body. I have these two parts, table heading and table body. These two parts are there. Now in the table heading part, I'm going to specify a row. In the single row, I'm going to specify some table heading. The first heading is name. The second heading is role. The third heading is email. Okay, these are some headings. Now we are done with the table heading. Now we will go to the table body. Now in the table body, I will do something. Now in the table body, I will now write. I will write the SQL queries along with not SQL queries, but I will write the JavaScript along with the HTML. This is what I'm going to do. Now I will write a for loop here. How can I write? So this is a very interesting syntax. Please look at the syntax carefully. I need to write, I need to give this, I need to give in this format, like this exclamation, not exclamation, this opening and like less than equal to sign, and this is called. So in other language, generally it is called a Jinja code. So I can specify this kind of syntax, and here in this code, whatever I will write, that will be our JavaScript. That is not HTML. We can include our JavaScript right here. So I will write our JavaScript for loop. I will write for variable I equals to 0, I less than data dot length I plus plus. So this data is the data that we have passed from this server file. This data is the data that we have passed from this server file, and I'm going to receive this data. I'm rendered this file from file. I'm going to receive this in our display page, and I'm executing this loop. Okay, so I will open this loop, and we are done. I have opened the loop. Now here, you can see I have closed this Jinja code here. This is the first line for our for loop. We need to write the closing brace. I have opened the brace, but I have not closed it yet. So I need to close the brace as well. I need to close the brace properly. Now in the for loop, what I'm going to do, I will have multiple table rows. So the table rows depends on the value that how many rows we have in our actual in our actual SQL file. This is the first table row. Then we have table data. Each and every places I will specify table data. Then I will have three table data basically. The first data, whenever I need some data, I need to specify this same Jinja code. This time a little bit tricky, like I need to specify equal to sign. In the equal to sign, I will be specifying data and the first row dot name, the name I want. Now the next one is I will just remove this to data from here. Next one is after name I have the role. After role I have email. After all, I have email. So these are the three things. I am passing this information and I'm receiving this information right here. So I have passed the information. I have collected the information from our SQL using this SQL query. I have stored the information in these rows, and I'm passing these rows. I'm giving a new value. The new value is data. I'm passing this data into our display page. Now in our display page, I have the information. Now I have successfully completed this part. After that, I just need to close this brace, this flower brace. I just need to close this one after this row. So I will go here. I will open and close this less than equal to sign. I will open and close this part also. There I just need to close this brace. This is the only thing that is left. So I have closed the brace. So our for loop structure is done. Our for loop structure is done. Inside here, the number of rows also is depends there. So this is just done. So for simplicity purpose, I will just close the terminal once, and I will re-execute the terminal once again. So let's now check that whether we are now able to get the informations or not. So this is I will go to the display page directly, and here we go. We have the information. This time I will try to insert one more information. Now I will try to insert, let's say, Rajesh Kumar. This is the information. I will try to enter the roll number as 10. I will try to insert the email ID, a simple email ID. Rajesh Kumar @gmail.com. This is a dummy email ID, and I will submit. After submitting, I will go to the display page, and you can see whatever information I inserted, I have not used that information. I am collecting this information from the database, and I'm successfully able to view the information that is inserted into our database. And we have connected our database with our front end part. So our backend and our front end are connected using Node.js. This application structure is called the Express application structure. We have used body parser to collect the information from this part. We have used Express app. We have used NodeMons to again and again displaying the things. We have used EJS template, that is embedded JavaScript template. So in EJS, generally whenever I need to insert some values, you can see these are HTML values, but in this HTML values, I have dynamic values. So these values are actually dynamic. This is dynamic. This is dynamic. These values are dynamic. So I can insert these dynamic values, and this is so much easy. So much easy it is. So this is how generally I have created the full-fledged and fully functional web application using Node.js, HTML, CSS. You can now, it is your job, now it is your task to complete this page. I know this is the thing that you are learning first time. Might be you are learning first time. I don't know if you have already learned, that is very good. Otherwise, you are learning it for the first time. So it might be a little bit confusing. That is absolutely all right. Like no problem, absolutely fine. I just want you all to go through the recording once again, and if you have any doubt you can ask me, and also let me know whatever I discussed about the overall structure, is that clear, because I too know that it should not be that much clear. I do know that, I appreciate that. Without even writing, I know that it will not be 100% clear. It will be only clear when you will at least practice it on your own. You have to practice it on your own. But I believe the overall structure, the design structure is clear to you. Okay, so please let me know, guys. I will upload this video at first and the last day's video at first into the YouTube by today. I will try to upload by today. Okay, guys, let me know. What about others? All right, I'm stopping the recording then.